The atmosphere around Rangers continues to shift in interesting ways as the club navigates a crucial phase of the season, and there is a growing sense that important groundwork is being laid not only for the present, but also for what lies ahead. Recent developments have sparked plenty of conversation among supporters, particularly with confirmation that one piece of business has already been wrapped up while another potential move is beginning to gather attention across different football circles. The key point right now is separating what is confirmed from what remains on the horizon, and that distinction matters when assessing how the squad could evolve over the coming months. One agreement is already sealed, and this is not a case of rumors drifting through social media or vague reports from distant sources. The club has made it clear that this particular deal is done, bringing a sense of closure to a situation that had been quietly building for a while. At the same time, there is another story circulating, one that suggests preparations are being made well in advance of the next transfer window. The idea of Rangers planning early is nothing new, but when reports emerge from abroad and are echoed closer to home, it naturally fuels debate about how serious the discussions might be and what it could mean for the long-term direction of the team. The suggestion that negotiations are already underway for a future signing adds another layer to the narrative. Even though the winter window has only just closed, clubs that want to stay competitive rarely switch off their recruitment work. Instead, they use this period to assess targets, explore possibilities, and ensure that when the next opportunity arrives, they are ready to move quickly. That appears to be the case here, with talk of dialogue between clubs and an understanding that any agreement would be aimed at the next season rather than an immediate arrival. It is the sort of forward planning that often goes unnoticed until much later, but it can make a significant difference when the time comes. Still, caution remains important. Football history is full of stories that sounded convincing at first, but never quite reached the finish line. Supporters know this better than most, and while the prospect of new faces is always exciting, there is a shared understanding that patience is required. What can be said with confidence, though, is that Rangers are actively thinking ahead, and that alone sends a message about ambition and intent behind the scenes. While that future-focused discussion continues, attention has also been drawn to a confirmed move involving Danilo. His situation had been watched closely, particularly after he spent time abroad and questions were raised about whether his future lay away from Glasgow. The transfer window closing did not immediately provide clarity, which only added to the uncertainty. Now, however, there is no confusion left. The deal has been agreed, and Danilo has moved on loan to NEC Nijmegen until the end of the season, with an option included that could make the move permanent. That detail is important, as it shows this is more than a short-term solution and could develop into a longer-term change depending on how things unfold. From Rangers' perspective, this decision fits into a broader strategy. Loans with options often serve multiple purposes, allowing a player to gain consistent minutes while also creating flexibility for both clubs involved. For Danilo, the move offers a chance to reset, to find rhythm and confidence in a different environment. For Rangers, it opens up space within the squad and provides clarity at a time when balance and structure are crucial. It is a pragmatic piece of business that reflects careful consideration rather than impulse. Alongside outgoing moves, there has also been plenty of focus on arrivals and the overall shape of the squad. The coaching staff have spoken openly about how the recent transfer window was handled, and there is a noticeable sense of satisfaction with the outcome. The emphasis has not only been on bringing players in, but also on managing departures in a way that strengthens the group as a whole. Reducing numbers while increasing quality is a phrase often used in football, but in this case it appears to be backed up by deliberate decisions rather than empty words. New signings are always judged not just on their talent, but on how they fit into the existing structure and mentality of the team. In that respect, there is confidence that the players brought in have the right attributes for the demands of Scottish football. Physicality, work rate, pressing ability, and a willingness to adapt have all been highlighted as key factors. At the same time, there is an understanding that adaptation does not happen overnight. Even the most promising players need time to settle into a new league, a new country, and a new style of play. What stands out is the belief that the squad is now better equipped for the challenges ahead. Competition for places has intensified, and that internal pressure is often what drives improvement across the board. When no position feels guaranteed, standards rise naturally. Training becomes sharper, performances become more consistent, and the collective level of the team increases. This is exactly the type of environment Rangers want as the season enters a decisive stage. There has also been recognition of the importance of keeping certain players despite interest from elsewhere. Retaining key figures sends a strong signal, both to the dressing room and to the wider football world. It shows that the club is not just reacting to offers, but actively shaping its own path. Stability in core areas allows new players to integrate more smoothly and ensures that the team does not lose its identity during periods of change. Another point that has been emphasized is togetherness within the club. Decisions are being made collectively, with a shared vision guiding recruitment and squad management. This sense of unity matters, especially during moments when pressure increases and expectations rise. When everyone is aligned, from the coaching staff to the players, it becomes easier to navigate challenges and stay focused on long-term objectives rather than short-term noise. As Rangers move deeper into the campaign, the balance between experience and potential continues to be refined. Young players with high ceilings are being supported within a structure that encourages growth without placing unrealistic burdens on their shoulders. The idea is not to rely on any single individual, but to build a group capable of adapting to different situations, whether that means changing shape, altering tactical approaches, or responding to the physical demands of consecutive matches. The presence of multiple options in attacking areas, for example, offers flexibility that can prove decisive. Being able to switch between systems or pairings, depending on the opponent, gives the team an edge. It also allows players to develop an understanding with one another, creating combinations that can unlock defenses in different ways. This depth is not about excess, but about readiness, ensuring that solutions are available when challenges arise. All of these elements combine to paint a picture of a club that is carefully positioning itself for what comes next. There is a sense of momentum building, driven by thoughtful recruitment, clear communication, and a commitment to continuous improvement. The decisions made now, both confirmed and speculative, are shaping not just the immediate future, but the direction Rangers intend to follow as the season progresses and beyond. As the focus turns fully back to what happens on the pitch, there is a clear belief inside the club that the current squad is far better prepared for the intensity of the months ahead than it was earlier in the campaign. The changes made during the last transfer window were not rushed reactions, but calculated steps aimed at raising the overall level of performance. That sense of purpose is reflected in the way the coaching staff talk about the group, highlighting not only individual qualities, but also how those qualities combine to strengthen the collective identity of the team. One of the most encouraging aspects is the balance now present across the squad. There is competition in almost every position, and that competition is no longer symbolic. Players understand that places must be earned every single week, whether in training or on match day. This has created a sharper edge around the training ground, with intensity levels rising and standards being pushed higher. For a team chasing consistency and momentum, that internal pressure can be just as important as any tactical tweak. The attacking unit, in particular, has drawn attention for its variety and potential. Different profiles offer different solutions, and that flexibility allows the coaching staff to adapt their approach depending on the opponent or the context of the match. Some games demand physical presence and relentless pressing, while others require movement, intelligence between the lines, and clinical finishing. Having players capable of fulfilling those different roles gives Rangers more ways to impose themselves rather than being forced into a single pattern of play. There is also an understanding that patience is essential when integrating new arrivals. Expectations are naturally high at a club of this size, but development is rarely linear. Players arriving from other leagues must adjust not only to the pace and physicality of Scottish football, but also to the emotional weight that comes with wearing the shirt. That adjustment period is being managed carefully, with an emphasis on support, communication, and gradual integration rather than immediate pressure to deliver decisive moments. Another key factor is the growing confidence within the squad. Confidence does not appear overnight. It is built through performances, results, and trust. Recent weeks have shown signs that belief is spreading, with players looking more comfortable in possession and more assertive without the ball. This confidence feeds into decision-making on the pitch, allowing players to take responsibility rather than hesitating in key moments. When that happens, the overall tempo of the team improves, and opponents are forced to react rather than dictate. Defensively, the emphasis has been on organization and collective responsibility. Rather than relying on individual brilliance alone, there is a clear structure designed to limit space and protect vulnerable areas. Midfielders are asked to contribute just as much as defenders, closing gaps and tracking runners, while the defensive line works in coordination to maintain shape. This shared responsibility reduces the strain on any single player and helps the team remain compact during difficult phases of a match. The midfield has become a crucial engine room, linking defense and attack while setting the rhythm of play. Energy, intelligence, and discipline are all required in this area, and the current options provide a blend of those attributes. The ability to rotate players without a noticeable drop in quality is particularly valuable during a congested schedule, where fatigue can quickly undermine even the best plans. Managing minutes and maintaining freshness will be vital as the season progresses. Off the pitch, the atmosphere around the club feels more settled. Clear communication has helped align expectations, both internally and externally. When players understand their roles and the reasoning behind decisions, uncertainty is reduced and focus sharpens. This clarity extends to the broader vision, with an emphasis on building something sustainable rather than chasing short-term fixes. It is an approach that may not always generate instant headlines, but it lays stronger foundations over time. Supporters, too, play an undeniable role in this phase of the season. The connection between the stands and the pitch can influence momentum in ways that are difficult to measure but impossible to ignore. Energy from the crowd often translates into extra intensity on the field, particularly during moments when matches are finely balanced. That shared drive, built on belief and expectation, can turn pressure into motivation rather than fear. As fixtures come thick and fast, adaptability will be tested. Injuries, suspensions, and form fluctuations are inevitable, and how the squad responds to those challenges will define the campaign. The goal is not perfection, but resilience. Being able to grind out results when performance levels dip, and then capitalize fully when rhythm returns, is the hallmark of a strong team. Rangers appear to be moving toward that mindset, valuing consistency and mental strength as much as flair. There is also an increasing sense that younger players are being introduced into an environment that allows them to grow without being overwhelmed. Experience around them provides guidance, while competition ensures standards remain high. This balance between nurturing potential and demanding performance is delicate, but when managed correctly, it can produce long-term benefits for the club. Looking ahead, every decision made now carries weight. Squad management, tactical preparation, and mental focus all intersect during this phase of the season. The pieces are being put in place step by step, with an awareness that success is rarely the result of one dramatic move, but rather a series of smart, consistent choices made over time. The coming weeks will reveal how these choices translate under pressure, but the structure and intent behind them suggest a group determined to push forward, stay competitive, and keep building momentum with each passing match. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. Whispers around Ibrox have grown louder this week as the arrival of Danish winger SKOV OLSEN has stirred speculation among the Rangers faithful. The 23-year-old, known for his electric pace and sharp movement down the flanks, touched down at the Glasgow club with an air of expectation rarely afforded to new signings so early in their tenure. From the moment OLSEN stepped off the plane, the buzz suggested he was more than just another addition to the squad. Some are already whispering that he could be the savior Rangers have been quietly hunting for. Sources close to the club hint that the transfer, shrouded in a cloak of secrecy until now, was fast-tracked after a series of talks that convinced management of OLSEN's potential impact. His previous spells abroad have seen flashes of brilliance, and it seems Rangers are betting on him to inject creativity and pace into a side looking to rediscover its swagger. The Danish winger has earned a reputation for being a game-changer in tight contests, often turning matches with moments of individual skill that leave defenders grasping at air. Fans are already imagining what his chemistry with the current squad might look like, with the likes of the front three potentially benefiting from his incisive runs and clever link-up play. While club officials have remained tight-lipped, insiders suggest that the move signals a broader ambition within the boardroom. Rangers are quietly pushing to reassert themselves as a force both domestically and in Europe. SKOV OLSEN's arrival is being read as a statement of intent, a clear signal that the club is willing to take calculated risks to secure talent capable of transforming matches. Among supporters, conversations are dominated by two themes: excitement and cautious optimism. There's hope that OLSEN's presence could catalyze a fresh chapter, but seasoned fans are wary of reading too much into hype, knowing well that adaptation to Scottish football can be a tricky proposition even for the most gifted talents. Meanwhile, pundits and former players have begun to weigh in, drawing parallels to other foreign talents who arrived at Ibrox with high expectations, and the consensus seems to oscillate between enthusiasm and prudent skepticism. Some suggest OLSEN's direct style and sharp eye for goal could be precisely what the team has lacked, particularly in breaking down stubborn defenses. Others caution that the pressure of living up to this SAVIOUR tag could weigh heavily on the young Dane, whose mental fortitude will be tested under the glare of Scottish media scrutiny. What is certain is that the arrival of SKOV OLSEN has ignited a wave of speculation, both inside and outside Ibrox. Whether he becomes the transformative figure Rangers hope for remains to be seen, but the early signs suggest this is more than a routine signing. As training sessions ramp up and whispers turn to chatter in local pubs, supporters are bracing themselves for a thrilling chapter, one that could redefine the momentum at Rangers if the Danish winger can hit the ground running. The football world is watching, and Scotland might just have a new name to keep an eye on. Greetings, fans. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.